So, so in that 10 years, I've been on a little bit of a journey, personally, but also career-wise. And in 2006, I started this, which was, this is a drawing, and that's the logo, but it was something called Bash, and the mandate was to try and transform the entertainment industry and to make it more sustainable and integrate, as has been said, eco lifestyles to become more desirable, to make them fun, to make them enjoyable, not to do this kind of like, you know, you're worthy because you're green. That's really cool. Along that journey, one of the most profound things that we did was, it's now over, it's been turned into a 5-star hotel. I'm going to talk you through it. It's a building we did, some of you guys, mostly construction professionals. But before that, we've been posed the topic, what does it mean to unleash city? What does it mean to unleash London? Well, it basically means to harness the potential, doesn't it? So you don't want to open the box of Pandora and have it all going everywhere. You want to be able to harness that and to put that into a positive form. So I thought, we've done that quite well. And they had a little thing. They said, all you need is. Thank you. Well, that's true. But you also need to practice. You need to understand how that practice and the intention of love and the intention of positivity in your actions and your values, how they can be translated into something which will help you. That's the building. It's quite ugly, but that was that was what was given to me about a year and a half. The keys dangling in my face and this. I walked in and I was just, whoa. It was 3,000 square foot in 6 months. We gathered 80 volunteers. We built a nightclub underground there that helped 2,000 people. We did raves. It was all powered on renewable energy. We built on the roof, we built a permaculture roof garden with 50 different types of edible plants and things. And in these offices we had, a plethora of different creative and sustainable professionals, from people who had offices in New York and were consulting the airline companies of America, to a lone artist who sat roughly in there and didn't speak to anyone. And what happened? Well, it was a space for collaboration. It was a space for people to experiment and to realise what their own potential was and how they could then manifest that in the physical world. So we had event spaces, and we had places that people could film or make sculptures and that kind of stuff. Show you some of these designs. I think you might be familiar with some design stuff. That's a very low res. That gives you a kind of feel. It's about half a block, and there's the logo. And that was just around the corner, down on Curtin Road, which is very near to here. It was in an area which has been transformed over the last few years from somewhere which is a little bit rough into somewhere which is definitely what they call up and coming, i.e. it's worth a lot more money. And part of that is that this has now been, it's been knocked down to be turned into a 5-star hotel. Along that way, I learned a few things I'd like to share with you, because I think that we can find out what the essence of unleashing something is, and we can maybe learn from that. So what's the first thing I learned? What's the first thing I can show you? Culture is a big word. But when you recognise culture, you can harness its power. Recognising culture is an incredible thing, because actually what you're doing is you're recognising the differences between yourself and between the people around you. And when you find these liminal stages in between you and them, you come to a compromise and an understanding, and that's what participation and collaboration can create. They can create these effects which you then have a great potential from. Culture doesn't have a passport. It doesn't, it doesn't get stopped through these walls. It doesn't, it transcends these things. It's an emotional thing. It's a real life, living and breathing element of our things, which is intangible. But it's the most important thing that we're creating our buildings for and our lives for. It's to create a good culture and a good environment around us. I met someone last Sunday. He's called Chuck D. He's the founder and the lead singer of Public Enemy. I don't know if you know, but they're one of the highest rated rap group in the Rock Hall of Fame. They've sold millions of records. Chuck D said, governments split people up, culture brings them together. I think that's very profound. And not only that, before I met him, before he played the O2 Arena, which you all know is a bit of a white elephant, until they went and made it the most successful live venue in the world, and thus financially successful, he told me, hello, nice to meet you, and he shook my hand, and I was like, wow, this guy is giving me a handshake. This guy sends people into adulation and awe every night because he's playing to thousands of people, and he has a message, and he brought you, as you know, the message. So what did that mean? What is the meaning behind this culture and this cultural idiosyncrasy, which is a handshake? It's peace. It's a gesture of peace. It's a coming together. And I think, right now, as we're all sitting in this room, it's not about me. It's about you guys. So if you'd like to just take a little bit of time just to shake the person's hand next to you and say hello, I think it'll be worth it. This is the third, thank you. This is the third discovery that I realized, is that anything, really anything is possible once we start to collaborate, once we say hello to our neighbors, once we understand what their needs versus our needs are. It's not just about us, it's about everyone. And anything really does become possible. You can move mountains. They are in fact doing that in North America, aren't they? They're cutting off the top of mountains. I mean, why do that? Anyway. Chuck D was an inspiration. He was a handshake. In the built environment, you might call a handshake maybe interdisciplinary design. It's how you relate to the different people you work with, how you can understand the bigger picture, what brings you together. How can you collaborate without saying, my realm is my realm and it does not change and I will not compromise? Because there you won't get anywhere. My third discovery is that nothing is perfect. Chuck D again, just for memory. Nothing's perfect. Who knows what this is? I'm sure you do. The golden mean, the golden ratio. The striving for perfection, the Parthenon. Nothing is perfect. You can go so many millions of numbers off this ratio and you still will not find the end. As long as you are not precious about something being perfect, you can realize that actually we've got everything we need around us to unleash London. You will see that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need to recognize in our own selves and our own potentials and the people you just shook your hands with. And once you recognize that within them, you recognize the potential that partnership and collaboration can bring. And I challenge you, within 1 week, if you have not found a new project or something to collaborate on, if you're not recognized what I've just said, then please get in touch and give me a call. And I will make sure you do. Thank you very much.